This is part 3, and it comes after part 2, which comes after part 1. Do with that what you will. Terrific sees a portal and proceeds to say the most destructive line in the movie.
When creating a pocket universe, if you are just 1 picometer off, you will have a black hole where Earth used to be. And every time you enter or exit, you risk tearing a hole in the fabric of reality.
When creating a pocket universe, if you are just 1 picometer off, you will have a black hole where Earth used to be. And every time you enter or exit, you risk tearing a hole in the fabric of reality. So, now that doesn't sound good. And so, if you knew this, Terrific, then why in the piss do you not say anything at the fucking headquarters? Maybe if you said about a possible hole in a fabric of reality, then the other 2 bozos would have helped. But it's fine, now you've made for certain there is a pocket universe, then you can call your buddies, and yeah, nah. Lucky Terrific is seemingly the only other person outside of Lex's guys to know about pocket universes, and lucky he somehow knows specifics about them without one, I assume, ever having been made before. Terrific isn't surprised someone can make a big bang and whatever else Lex said he had to do to make this. And yeah, so Terrific just knows generally that pocket universes can be created and they risk black holes and tears of holes in fabric of realities. Very hole-based issues. And both issues, I'm assuming, means the end of a world, because they certainly sound like it. So he knew about this and isn't freaking out every day about the end of a world. He hasn't made the information public and made it his life mission for one never to be made. Instead, he was just waiting patiently for the end of everything. Because if Lex can make a pocket universe, then more people will make pocket universes. Eventually, the bad holes will happen and the world will be no longer. But who cares about all that? At least he's got his balls. So, Lois seems to, and everyone else, should assume the government are in on a pocket universe. Even though, again, the government are just so mind-numbingly incompetent, they just haven't noticed it, I guess. But from their point of view, it's now established the government risked there being a black hole where Earth used to be when making it, and they are now risking tearing a hole in a fabric of reality every time someone enters or exits. So Lois and Terrific should be thinking that the US government is so beyond evil and retarded to such an unfathomable degree. Yes, even more than real life. Though damn, I won't say they aren't making it a competition. Politics. To reiterate, every good guy in this movie thinks the US government is holding Superman in a pocket universe, and Terrific and Lois think the pocket universe is at constant risk to destroy the world. Terrific already knew this and just didn't tell anyone, and now they both know and still aren't telling anyone. Neither think to call the other fucking 2 superheroes in the city the ones in Terrific's superhero team, because I guess they have bigger problems like sitting around. Currently, the US president should be joint enemy number 1 with Lex Luthor. They are risking the world at all times. They have created a ticking time bomb that will destroy the fabric of reality. I believe having a fabric of reality is a good thing. Every alleged good guy in this movie needs to grab Lex at all means necessary, then coup the government and start torturing either Lex or the president or whoever hardcore style to find out where all the other portals are before the world is over. Not just a world, but reality itself. But instead, no one gives a single shit because this movie does not even begin to understand what it has done, and that will become more and more apparent. I'm not sure I've ever seen a movie as lost in its own source as this one. It just doesn't know what it has set up. It is and will be utterly fucked. Lois reacts to this information, the black holes and the fabric of realities line, by going,
"You're kidding."
Where is the severe dread? And Terrific matches that energy by making a quip.
So I guess you decided to help.
Only because it'll piss off Green Lantern.
So he has remembered Green Lantern's existence, but I guess a fabric of reality being on the line is too low stakes to ask him for help. I don't understand how specifically people entering or exiting the portal could tear a hole in a fabric of reality. Does he just mean the act of opening the portal could cause that? Though that's not what he he said.
And every time you enter or exit, you risk staring all into the fabric of reality.
And either way, with that possibility, maybe this shouldn't be his reaction to them opening the portal and walking in.
Hell yeah.
A question, should Terrific and Lois even open a portal to try to save Superman? What are the actual chances of this tearing a hole through the fabric of reality? And if you are going in, why bring Lois? The fuck is she gonna do?
An anti-proton river.
Terrific does just know everything, even what an anti-proton river looks like. Lois asks, looking down at the anti-proton river,
Do we repel?
which is a pretty idiotic question, but then Terrific replies,
Repel? Where am I gonna get the gear to repel into a pocket universe?
which is a pretty idiotic answer, because wouldn't the gear be the same as repelling in any universe? What they need is Terrific's flying thing, which he just forgot to bring apparently.
This place is filthy with black hole vortexes, and that anti-proton river will tear us apart in seconds. We cannot go in ourselves.
Then call for backup. You know, the people who can fly? Why in the fuck did you even open a portal if you aren't going to go in? Especially when you said it has a risk to tear a hole in the fabric of reality. If you opened it, you'd better have some exceptionally good reasons to. I don't know how your balls are going to save Superman. Well, I guess they can explode and shit. Also, the fuck is a black hole vortex? And Terrific just knows about them as well. He's a real expert on pocket universes, so I am assuming we are meant to believe him about the dangers of them. Anyway, fuck all that. What's happening with Superman? Well, because Element Jizz thinks bopping a fella is so much worse than torturing hundreds of people, he's real distraught and so turns off his kryptonite. But wait, hold up. Then I thought the baby was gonna get put down. I thought that was the whole point. I tried to get in a Hollywood writer's head in 2026 a while back and thought the guard with the baby might fall asleep, letting Element Jizz help Superman escape. But no, I was wrong. Instead, the movie just forgets about his existence for a while, so that's fine. I guess after forgetting the gun, the goon in the end didn't want to smash the baby to death. Superman can't heal because there's no sun. So then Element Jizz says he can't make a sun.
I can't make a sun.
So then he proceeds to make a sun. What the fuck? And while he's making the sun, the people around them are shouting out, trying to get the bad guys to notice. Why are they ratting on Superman? Wouldn't they want him to save them from their torture? Are they stupid? These guards who can fly just stand around after seeing a sun. And yeah, the goon with a weird looking baby is just standing there watching Superman get up, going against the whole point of his existence. So Superman just punches out and then punches the guy. Could have just slammed into the baby and is just risking piercing it with speeding shards of glass. And of course Lex doesn't know what's happening and is oblivious to the whole thing, because I guess the smartest man in the world who can make universes hasn't heard of fucking CCTV, and nobody on the payroll knows how to contact him. Well, at least that's consistent.
You have to take him. I can't carry him when I change forms.
Mate, seconds ago you jetpacked with your ass, over here with your arms out, seemingly free to carry a baby. So what the fuck are you talking about? You can't carry him when changing forms. Whatever, Element Jizz does give Superman his baby to keep safe, so he needs to proceed with caution. So in the next 5 seconds of a movie, Superman, while holding the baby, flies straight through crazy metal parts that explode. Rule 1 of holding a baby. Do not fly through crazy metal parts that explode.
Crypto, stop! You're gonna squash the baby!
Crypto will squash the baby? Terrific is still looking for Clark.
Oh, God.
Portal's been open too long. We can't stand here much longer.
Yeah, the universal space rocks are moving in real fucking quick. To me, this seems a very bizarre feature of a pocket universe portal. But hey, I'm no expert on pocket universe portals. Superman then meets up with Element Jizz. But what was he doing just now? Why didn't they just rescue the dog together? So Superman wouldn't have had to have done this with a baby. Well, not had to, he chose to. Fucking lunatic. He should be handing Element Jizz a bunch of mush right now. We do a 360 camera turn and see no goons behind Superman for him to go forwards and get hit by goons from behind him. Because what is the point in fucking thinking? Also, how is Superman getting taken down by some dudes? We've seen how much they completely suck at everything. And he is Superman. Element Jizz does this pathetic little drift towards his baby that's under attack. Doesn't seem to give much of a shit about the little guy, to then get surrounded by goons. Why would they tackle Superman but just surround Element Jizz? Superman, the baby, and the goons all fall into the Anti-Proton River. Pretty terrible luck they fall into it, instead of falling anywhere else. Maybe the goons just really want to kill Superman at the cost of their own lives, and took him down into it on purpose. Terrific said,
And that anti-proton river will tear us apart in seconds.
though the flying dudes aren't getting torn apart, they can just tank it. An anti-proton river does sound pretty extreme, but not as extreme as some guy's balls. Or his fucking hands. I don't even think Superman should be fine, considering how much he sucks in this movie. Like how he just got tackled by bozos, and he's allegedly keeping the baby out of a proton river, despite that looking utterly impossible. Hello, I see no baby above the surface. The baby is just so comically dead by now, but hey, maybe its greenness is protecting it from the anti-protons.
Tell him he's still weak!
Okay, so at this point in the movie, Lex is down with killing Superman, because if he wasn't, I'm sure he would have told these fellas not to. So again, why hasn't Lex killed him this whole time? And why is he choosing to be bold? Lots of pressing questions. So Clark boots one guy out and Crypto chucks another guy out, leaving one more, and then we cut back to Element Jizz.
All right, freak. Nice and slow. Back in the cage.
So the guards are trying to kill Superman, but don't want to kill Element Jizz for some reason. Just fucking shoot him. Or at least grab him. Why try to conversate?
What are you gonna do? Splash us?
The guy's formal name is Element Man. He can make kryptonite and a sun. He is flying midair by having his legs turn into a perpetual jetpack, and is at this moment clearly making some crazy substance that's bubbling. But you guys think it's just hysterical that he could splash you with something that could damage you? I don't know, like some kind of acid perhaps? I've ate chickens smarter than these people. I suppose I can accept Element Jizz turning his legs into whatever, but removing his entire body and just being a head? Can we get a fucking grip? So, Terrific and Lois, Jesus Christ, you have like 2 seconds to squeeze out of there. Why are you just crouching? You're going to get crushed into nothingness way before I finish this sentence. Oh, my bad, you have time to give a shit about some dog chewing on your balls. Just look behind them. I can barely see a gap. Hey, James Gunn, just to let you know, we have eyeballs and an amount of perception to time and things happening. Well, not everyone, I guess. Ayo, shots fired. Okay, we're back to Superman fighting the guy in the Flimp River. It zooms out and Superman kicks a guy, and you barely see him get out of the Flimp, for him to start flying and shooting at him after a couple cuts. Some weird editing, making it as hard as possible to know what's going on. For at least over 10 seconds, the dude is shooting at Superman and the baby from above. For Clark to only finally use the insta-win button, probably killing him. I'm certainly fine with Clark killing these evil men. From the second they're in the river, actually before he was in the river, I think he should have lasered everyone. But then again, he clearly doesn't give a shit about the safety of babies. And really this whole time, but especially now, there's no guys fighting him. Why doesn't Superman just go upwards? You know, like he does as Superman. The Flimp River can't be doing that much when he can launch people out of it, and Crypto can chuck people out of it. I guess Superman kinda forgot he can fly. And oh no, at the worst possible time too, because he's heading into a black hole. Yes, a black hole. And I thought Interstellar was dumb. Okay, Interstellar is still dumb. So mind-bogglingly dumb. Sorry, I just watched that movie. It's on the mind.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
Gay!
Terrific said before,
You will have a black hole where Earth used to be.
so the film understood then the consequences of there being a black hole, but here I guess it just sucks in stuff a little bit. Okay. Also, Clark can somewhat swim against the Flimp River, so how about you swim left or right, you cunt? There's space rocks right there, mate, and they're not getting sucked in. Anyway, yada yada, they are all getting sucked into the black hole. It was at this point that I started to wonder if this movie was made from a wrath of God. Maybe we've sinned too much. One too many cock has been sucked. Thanks a lot, Dave. So the fucking anti-proton river is made up of like solid little squares, but also kind of acts like a liquid. I don't know how it's anything to do with antiprotons. Protons are very, very small. Maybe the little blocks are made up of just a bunch of antiprotons. I'm pretty sure if that was the case, anyone who touches it would instantly cease to exist or some shit. But obviously, the movie just picked the word antiprotons as a random science word. These small blocks, I think, are being sucked upwards from the river and are flying into the black hole. These blocks are hitting our gang at max speed, but they just have no effect. Like none at all. They are just blasting right past them and through them. And if we are getting over the fact that the black hole is just working as a big suck, even then, surely they should be going into it extremely quickly. Maybe not as quick as the little blocks because of a weight difference, but around the same speed as the big blocks you see zooming into the black hole above them. And fucking Element Jizz is firing his ass into the direction of the black hole, but seems to be just chilling, barely getting sucked. Crypto looks pretty chill too until he suddenly gets pulled all at once. But how wouldn't it be gradual if it's working as a big suck? Crypto is managing to tank the black hole for a while by doggy paddling. Element Jizz is holding Superman and the green guy by grabbing them with tentacles and using his jetpack. I guess Clark is flying in the opposite direction. He eventually puts his hand out. So how is Crypto keeping the same pace as Superman and Element Jizz now that he's spinning and is doggy paddling in every direction? And the baby is in one of Superman's hands. It is getting sucked real hard. It is a black hole. That ugly baby's ugly head should be getting ripped off his shoulders, I'm sorry to say. Some pretty hardcore shit should be happening to that little fella. It's all pretty over. The power of Superman's flight isn't enough to get out. It's looking like it's GG, folks. But then... Clark blows real hard in the direction of a black hole and propels him and everyone out. So I think we've reached rock bottom of having eyeballs. I could accept Superman blowing real hard could propel him a bit, equal and opposite forces and all that, but they are getting sucked into a black hole. And even if his black hole sucks at sucking, he was failing to fly out of it. So how does blowing hard succeed? And if blowing is his best ability, why in the fuck did he wait so long to start blowing? Couldn't he blow to the side of the Glump River any time before now? I am just throwing my time into the garbage by trying to fucking make sense of any of this, because nothing that's happening makes any sense. Actually, maybe it's not even right to say it makes no sense. Everything that's happening is more just out the paradigm of sense as a concept. It's all just a clusterfuck of revolting, retarded CGI sludge. And it makes me think back to when they used to make movies.
Man, you are so weird.
He calls Superman weird when he looks like this. Hey, tentacle cunt, you all should have in all likelihood just got turned into spaghetti just now. And that's what you've got to say. You don't even want to check on your baby. Fuck you and fuck this fucking movie.
Do you have them?
Them, Superman, the mean dog in a cape, a weird baby, and a squiggle man.
Ha ha ha, so fucking funny, guys. No, that's just so fucking funny. Don't you just love comedy? So, remember the portal was closing with universal space rocks at this pace with this little time? Well, that was about 2 minutes ago. In that very scene, they already should have been crushed, but of course, negative 2 minutes, plus some grok-written comedy, plus how long they took the flight out of here is there's well enough time for everyone to make it out. Woo. I wonder, when James Gunn was making this shit, was he thinking from his elbow or his kneecap? Hey James, you realize you didn't have to add the portal closing with space rocks? You could have just not done that? Oh, but the precious tension. Lucky the green guy didn't get any space rock debris through him. Jesus Christ. The both most lucky and most unlucky baby in the fucking universe. Okay, everyone's through the portal, and the green dude is just visibly being held by Clark. Then we have Terrific doing some real funny shit with a dog, and while this is happening, we see Elminger's get up looking normal. I think Elminger's kinda forgot he was squiggly-fied. Anyway, we see in the background he's interacting with Clark and the baby, and then 8 seconds of Terrific's antics later. What do you mean he was under Clark's cape and Clark just awoke? These moments, man, how do they happen? How are they legal? Why can't you just film stuff and edit stuff like functioning human beings? Also, it's strange how Elminger's is suddenly happy the baby is alive now when he didn't even check up on him after the black hole incident. Back then, he just made a stupid fucking quip. And alright, we're doing one of these. Let's think back to all that had to happen for Superman to escape the pocket universe. Jimmy Boy had to suddenly have Lex's girlfriend's undying love. Terrific had to have put nanobot trackers into Superman's bloodstream. Lex had to bring Elminger's as his kryptonite instead of just having kryptonite or chopping off this fella's kryptonite limbs, or doing any other countless things that could detain him. He does have Ultraman, who is literally stronger than him. Lex then had to do the utter insanity with a baby in a cage, and the goon had to forget his gun. Then Lex had to kill a dude in front of them, which causes Elminger's to help Superman, despite the albeit gunless threat with a baby. Whatever, all that happens, and then only by coincidence, Terrific and Lois had to open a portal at the exact same time of all this for them to get out with only seconds to spare, allegedly, because no. Oh yeah, and while all this was happening, Lex had to not send Ultraman and Engineer or whoever to go to the beach to see what's up, and the down people had to not just fucking get up on 2 legs and stop them. And I'm probably missing many more things that had to happen for us to get to this point. There is no movie anymore. There is just things happening. Though coming from all that utter disgrace, there is probably my favorite moment in the entire movie. It's certainly not too complex, but I feel easily where Superman's heroism shines through the brightest, even if it is just for 15 seconds.
You came to get me. There's more people being held prisoner in there. We gotta go get them.
Clark could have easily just stayed down happily in Lois's arms and rested, but no, his mind is so focused on saving people, he pushes through all that damage just to stumble up, ready to give it his all, despite him clearly not being in a state to do so. Wow, it kinda feels like you're watching something with a reason to exist for a few seconds there. Anyway, back to it.
It's kryptonite poisoning.
He'll heal, but it'll take a day or two.
Mr. Kryptonite Doctor over here. He knows the precise recovery time of kryptonite poisoning just by looking at Clark. Okay, dude. Brother in Christ, you remember the evil goons wriggling around? Well, they have just vanished. Instead of getting up and going after Terrific and Lois the whole time, they just got up and left. Just stumbled up and walked away. All 20 of them. And didn't tell Lex what happened for like half a day because now it's nighttime. I guess every single one of them must have just decided to resign. The pay wasn't high enough. And the non-soldier guys still are meant to be fucking evil, like that guy with a clipboard. Why are they just sitting around not calling Lex Luthor? This alone would ruin any good movie, but in this it's just like, yeah, of course 20 people have despawned, and every single person that works here forgot to bring their mobile phone, and the internet died, or whatever. They just have no way to contact the guy they're working for at the beach with a dimensional portal to a pocket universe, which Superman got thrown into. I bet my large intestine that Morbius is significantly better than this movie. I've only watched this one scene, but goddamn, look at those moves.
This is a tough one. Would you rather play Doctor Who again and team up with Karen Gillan again, or team up with Jared Leto again in a Morbius sequel?
Doctor Who.
This is a tough one.
I need to stay back here and make sure the portal is secure.
Make sure the portal is secure? Why wouldn't it be secure? I guess it got a bit fucked, but if that had any chance to make it unsecure, then you probably shouldn't have fucking stayed in there so long when the fabric of reality is on the line. I wonder if he's gonna tell the Justice Gang the situation before Lex Luthor will surely check out the beach and bring back up. Of course neither of these things happen. Why did I even threaten to pretend otherwise? And insanely, Terrific and Lois don't mention to Clark or Element Jizz about the pocket universe being a time bomb for the end of a fabric of reality or whatever the fuck. And don't discuss any plans to overthrow the United States or whatever they need to do. I keep saying it and I'm gonna keep saying it because this shit is nuts. Every ounce of effort needs to be on stopping the use of a pocket universe. Instead, Terrific tells Lois to take his spaceship.
Get him someplace safe. Take the T-Craft. The controls are easy and intuitive.
Do you know how the controls on spaceships are easy and intuitive? And she almost crashes. What a dumb bitch. Can't even drive a spaceship well with no practice. Women, am I right? Well, never mind. She does actually seem to be exceptionally good at driving spaceships because she got to Clark's parents' place at night. She has never been to Clark's parents' house before, so I'm not sure how she found it, considering it's over multiple states, and how long would that have took them? I don't think Clark was giving the best directions, as he is almost comatose in the back. I guess she could use a sat-nav if Clark just told her the address, though she seems to start off without one. And did she really have to take Clark all the way to fucking Kansas? Wait, why didn't Clark or Element Jizz think of creating another sun to speed heal him? It healed him immensely and instantaneously the first time. Why not do it again? Even if he can't get fully healed for some reason from it, surely it would help and surely it would be worth trying. Instead, Element Jizz just strolls off with his fucked up looking baby. So long. Lex crashes out. Somebody finally told Lex what went down. Took long enough.
How the hell could he have gotten free?
You don't want to know, man. It makes so little sense. Though, it was a lot to do with you being a retarded person. He throws a pencil at a woman. That's not very nice. Who then, instead of fucking off completely, chooses to go into the control room, like the one right here, to then phone Jimmy and start shouting about betraying Lex.
I have everything you need to ruin Lex forever.
Not only is a room just quite literally a foot away from a room with the most evil guy ever and his employees, including this guy, who you're betraying by shouting into your phone, but they would have just seen and heard you open the door to go in. This is the door she went in. What are we? This movie is anti-frontal lobes. She's shouting into the phone, but I mean, what's the worst I could? And she's thrown into a pocket universe. Classic. Hey lady, next time you're in this situation, instead of just going into the closest room to shout nonsense on the phone, you should just give Jimmy a text. Or better yet, remove yourself from the premises, because whoop-de-fucking-do. Regardless, what was she chatting about before she got fucking overheard by Ultraman 10 feet away?
I have everything you need to ruin Lex forever.
Everyone in the world seems to be fine with the United States government holding Superman in a pocket universe. I literally can't imagine anything that could possibly ruin Lex forever. Maybe something cringe-inducingly pathetic, like paying people to master your Path of Exiles 2 account, then live streaming pretending to be one of the best players, while quite literally not knowing how to play the game. You guys remember that? Jesus fucking Christ. Jimmy, while talking to her, is doing the meme of him hating her, as she says,
"You have to promise me we get to hang this weekend."
And he's not like, yeah, send it. Of course I'll spend a weekend with you, lovely lady. But instead,
How long?
A weekend.
All weekend?
Jimmy should think the stakes are pretty high. I assume he still thinks Superman is trapped in a pocket universe. Also, Lois has been missing for a whole day, and he's not worried at all. The defense of Jimmy being like this is, again, you guessed it, comedy. But, no. While Clark's healing, Jimmy sends Lois the selfies that the girlfriend sent, and one of them shows a map of germ pores being split into New Bravia and Luthoria. You know, like Luthor.
You're
Todd X is a genius.
Why in the piss does she give a single shit about this fucking garbage? None of it matters. Lois kind of forgot she thinks the US government was torturing Clark and others in a pocket universe, which is at constant risk of tearing a hole in reality. She should be the one telling Jimmy all the batshit insane information she has learned, not Jimmy sending her some fucking selfies. Also, Jimmy's last thing he heard from a woman, who he had currently got being the mole for the evil guy, was the sound of a door opening, her screaming, and then being dragged while going for then the phone to hang up. And he pins us down to,
I don't know. She might have dropped her phone in the toilet. She does that a lot.
Jimmy is a sociopath.
Sending sexy selfies behind the back of Lex Luthor? She has to be the biggest idiot in the world.
That was dialogue, and this is a cocked and loaded gun. I've never seen something look so beautiful.
Lex, he just told you the portal was destroyed.
The dimensional aperture is still there, which we can open remotely, so
What the fuck does that mean?
it is not safe. We can close the aperture later by inputting the coordinates, correct?
Inputting coordinates?
Theoretically. Great. If we can't find him, we'll need to draw him out.
That could tear a dimensional rift into the surrounding
This
area.
is something you think I don't know?
Creating a dimensional rift into the surrounding area. That sounds and looks like a, bad idea, but, we'll get to the specifics. But first, in all the mumbo and jumbo, what does the movie think Lex is going for here? Well, he seems to be choosing to have a non-zero chance of imploding the whole world to definitely destroy Metropolis somewhat, just to bait out Superman.
Superman won't be able to ignore that. Now we know where he'll be next.
Why wouldn't he just bait out Superman in any other non-utterly ridiculous and suicidal way? Why not just throw a couple Godzillas out? Why not have Ultraman fuck shit up? Like at the start of the movie, he literally baited out Superman with Ultraman, and won't everyone hate him when it gets out it was his insane nonsense stunt that destroyed Metropolis? Is all of this just retarded? And why does Lex want to bait out Superman now this second? If it's because he thinks Superman will tell the world about the pocket universe shenanigans, then wouldn't he also be worried about Element Jizz and whoever else helped Superman? And he didn't care about the fucking article. And if it's because the Baravian invasion is so important to him and he thinks Superman will fuck it up, then why doesn't he just send Ultraman and Engineer and whoever to Bravia? It's established Ultraman is stronger than Superman. Just have him there to win the fight. And the Baravian invasion would also draw Superman out anyway. Why the fuck do you need to do this shit? And although his people are objecting somewhat, they are still going along with his cosmic insanity. You'd think they'd have a line, and this would be a bit past it. Okay, but what actually does creating a rift in the surrounding area entail? Well, we see Terrific is still with a portal. I don't know why, what's he actually doing? And some of Lex's guys are obviously there, just walking around, but not the Raptor guys because, oh yeah, they all despawned. Sorry, what's really mattering is it looks like what the whole science ramble meant is the Pocket Universe portal is now expanding and going straight through the main universe. But that is, inconceivable, mind-boggling, dumb as shit. I could conceptualize, even with all its problems, the Pocket Universe working as just a massive TARDIS through the different portals. If you step in and go forwards, you won't exit through the tent in the main universe because it's a separate entity, just really, really big. But when you clash it with the main universe, what is actually happening? Surely the Pocket Universe isn't actually replacing the main universe, because that would happen instantly and would somehow be even more insane than what I think is happening, which is the portal is just turning into a massive expanding portal, and for some reason in a straight line, and Lex can just do this. I guess he controlled the size and direction of a Pocket Universe portal's expansion. Wouldn't you think the actual portal construction is important as a thing, and that could only be opened for a short amount of time? But what's happening when a portal is the length of a city? Why would a portal stop at the ground? It is a dimensional portal. It won't know what ground is. It would just put a slice through the air. It certainly wouldn't know about different levels of land. I suppose if you dig down at the ground next to the portal, you aren't going to meet the portal, though if you dig sideways, you would have to meet it, as the ground has been split in two. But if you go in the portal and go sideways, you're not going to run into the ground in the main universe, because you're in the pocket universe at that point. And also wait, so the pocket universe just cuts off? So where did the sky in a pocket universe go? Let's be real, none of this makes any sense, and all of it is shit. Cosmical fucking shit. Because we need stakes, guys, so let's have the universe split dimensionally into the other universe, because that sounds like fun. Let's make it a straight line, heading to Metropolis. But hey, Lex, Metropolis is behind the pocket universe tent, so the rift is actually heading to the ocean right now. So hey Lex. And just beside Terrific and this woman, a universe is appearing under them, and yet they both wait until Terrific finishes some dialogue to move. Look at where she is standing.
This is why you don't create a damn pocket universe.
So it appears Terrific is assuming the whole thing glitched out of nowhere, and Lex isn't intentionally destroying the Earth, because why the fuck would anyone intentionally destroy the Earth? But then, like, how does Terrific think he's gonna stop it? From his point of view, this should likely be the end of a world. And so, should I mention for the however many fucking times that maybe Terrific should call in some help? Or should I stop thinking about this abysmal dog shit? Clark wakes up. What's the plan of action? Well, there were hundreds of people trapped in hell in the pocket universe, and he should think the government is allowing all of it after they were using Lex to torture him and kill this man in cold blood. Like, Jesus Christ. I just noticed while editing that the fucking blob guy puts his arms out on his head. He's so in shock that the guy got shot in the head. He's just like a regular guy, I guess. Terrific may be in danger from staying on the beach, and Lex may pull some crazy shit. Case in point, though I guess Clark can't expect him to make a rift, tearing apart the universe or whatever the fuck. But maybe Lex will clear all the evidence of a pocket universe. He might mass execute all of the prisoners. What I am getting at is Superman needs to go back to Metropolis as soon as possible, but instead he's just eating on a bench and looking sad. What happened to him struggling through his kryptonite poisoning, trying to help people at any means necessary? I guess Clark kinda forgot he's meant to be a hero. Then Clark's dad comes out. Not like that, comes outside I mean.
But you don't seem quite yourself.
Yeah, well, the message that my parents sent with me, I'd never heard the second half before.
Well, I'd say what you wanted that message to mean says a whole lot more about you than what anyone meant for it to mean.
Oh, you don't understand. I'm not who I thought I was. He sent me here to hurt people.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's still crying about the fucking 4-line message from his bumfuck parents who he doesn't know. Wouldn't he have got this message when he was like a late teenager? Isn't that always the story? How the fuck is he so attached to it? His real dad is sitting right next to him. And with all the shit that's happened, with the government's betrayal and evilness, with Lex executing the guy he knew directly in front of him, partially because of him, because he gave himself up. This fucking message is what's at the top of his mind. It's just so wrong. In his last breath, this guy said,
Don't tell him nothing, Superman. I have no family or nothing.
Luthor, don't do this.
You eating my food was a great honor, Superman. I believe in you, Superman. No. Don't tell him nothing.
Malik Ali was his name, and he deserves better. And just generally, I would have hoped Clark would get over some fucking message, because what else can he do?
Parents aren't for telling their children who they're supposed to be. We are here to give y'all tools, help you make fools of yourselves all on your own. Your choices, Clark. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are. Tell you something, son. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Wow, what a nice moment, huh? Though, don't you think fucking Clark Kent, Superman, at 30 years of age, should be able to work out that your choices and actions are real important, not some fucking half message from whoever the fuck? In The Iron Giant was made to be a weapon, to be a gun, and Hogarth, a 9-year-old child, risked his life to snap the Iron Giant out of being a gun by telling him,
It's bad to kill. Guns kill. And you don't have to be a gun. You are what you choose to be. You choose. Choose.
Oh, God.
There is so much meaning for a walking gun to choose to be the ultimate hero. But what the fuck can be said for Superman to finally discard some shitty message? And a 9-year-old understood the concept of you being who you choose to be, but Superman at 30 years of age hasn't thought about that concept of your actions and your choices being who you are. It's such a joke. Was Clark actually not exaggerating when he said,
That message is why I do what I do. I cherish it more than anything.
That is so fucking embarrassing. How can that message be why you do what you do when it's fucking vacant of really anything? It says be good. It doesn't say how to be good. Obviously you fucking figure that out yourself, which is clearly the hard part, the important part. Well, maybe you didn't figure that out yourself with the whole rodent or humans trolley problem and with the holding the baby thing. You can't have Superman's arc being to stop valuing some retarded fucking message when in no universe should he have ever valued it remotely in the first place. Well, at least compared to the people in the real world, you know who I feel bad for, his actual earthly parents. Clark actually cherished a fucking shitty message over them, the people who raised him. This movie is a fucking disgrace. Please just go watch The Iron Giant instead. But anyway, somehow Bravia still hasn't invaded Jampur, and so everyone's watching the build up to a potential battle zone on the news with the countries, because it's just on the news, and it's only nearby villagers guarding the border with fucking shovels and forks and sticks and shit. Do they have literally no military, or at least any guns? I'm pretty sure every single country in the world has at least one of those two things. But if you're going up against some strong military force with guns and tanks, and you only have shovels and forks and sticks, oh, and a singular AK-47 and a big block, shouldn't you just protest at that point and drop the useless weapons and maybe not let any kids get on the front lines? Anyway, all the people start calling for Superman, and he smiles and thinks about going to save them. Wait a second, is this the mother of Element Jizz's baby? But she's decent looking. Why is she banging fucking Element Jizz? This film is making less and less sense. And why is everyone sitting in at home or in a diner and not helping Terrific with the universe splitting into the other universe dimensionally? And then I start freaking out about how he still hasn't called anybody yet. Oh no, but he does bring one of his balls to Superman, not anyone else. How does he even know where Clark is? Oh yeah, the nanobot GPS tracker in his bloodstream. And how far did his ball travel to find him? Over how many states? Does he not have a phone? Fucking Techman Genius doesn't have a fucking mobile phone. Instead he sends his balls across the country. How long would the ball have took to get here? When the fast moving universal gate of gay has only gone like what, a couple kilometers? Somehow he's got his flying chair when he didn't have it before. But don't think, just experience.
Superman, we need you here in Metropolis now.
I have to get to Baravia, Terrific.
There won't be a Baravia or a Metropolis or a planet Earth if you don't get here soon. This rift is about to tear into the city. I can't stop it. I need your help.
With that, Clark stares straight ahead for a couple seconds for it to cut off to the next scene. So Clark would have just about 5,000 questions. What in the shit and fuck do you mean a rift is about to tear into the city, Terrific? What does that actually entail? Is this like the end of days? How am I meant to stop a universal dimensional rift? Is it stoppable at all in any way? What are the Justice Gang doing? Surely you've told them, huh, Terrific? Surely you've called any other superheroes in the world? You know, from a 300 years of an era of gods and monsters, there must be quite a few around the globe. Surely there's not just the 4 guys in Metropolis and fucking Element Jizz. And if that is the case, then surely the world wouldn't put all their superheroes comatose in one fucking city. Right, Terrific? That would be dumb as all shit. What was that, Terrific? You haven't called them? Why? Fucking why? And I might have still been comatose for all you knew. And Terrific, I've told you about the balls. We have phones. They're infinitely more efficient. Okay, well, you are right. It is true I wouldn't have my phone on me, so maybe the balls were actually the best way to contact me, and my argument before was not airtight. Really does seem hard to believe your balls were the best way though. Shouldn't you and Lois have provided a way for us to communicate? Like her telling you my parents' phone number so we could skip the ball bit? Oh, you expected me instantly to come to Metropolis when I awoke. Fair enough, but then why did you send the ball if you thought I would come instantly? Anyways, oh, what was I doing when I awoke? Well, to tell you the truth, I was being sad on a bench. Hey, don't N-word what me, Terrific. We don't want a repeat of you and Green Lantern. Nah, I'm joking. Of course, I would never say it. Superman doesn't have time to say the N-word. Wait a blimmy second. Terrific, how do you know where I am? I've never told you where my parents live. What do you mean I won't like the answer? Come on, I'm sure it's not that bad. You put what in me? Nanobot GPS trackers in my bloodstream? You fucking nick. Okay, Terrific, I'm sorry, but fuck you, I can hear you giggling through the ball. Yes, laugh it up. You got Superman to call you the N-word. La-dee-da. You better not have that on recording. Okay, shut up. We can both agree the dimensional rift in the world is what we should be discussing right now, right? Okay. Hey, I was thinking, how about we try talking to Lex? I know it sounds crazy, but surely he isn't doing this on purpose, right? That would be too insane, even for him. When the stakes are this high, maybe we could put our differences aside for a second to try to figure out a way to stop the end of a world. And Terrific, make sure to keep your balls right here on me, okay? Until I come. Jesus Christ, Terrific, stop. I meant so I can keep asking you questions and get updates on the stop laughing, the world is ending. So will Superman choose to save the entire world or just one small part of it? Wow, real intense counter writing going on here. And evacuation goes out. I remember this guy. I don't know who noticed the thing and reported it. Maybe Terrific finally used a fucking mobile phone. But it's looking like the dimensional rift fuck is pretty close to the city already. Like half a minute away. Really, they should all tell everyone to just move a bit to the left or right of the rift. Not all try to get out the city because that's obviously so impossible. Let's not kid ourselves. There's enough traffic when an entire city isn't trying to get out of it. Many people are obviously going to die. But of course the tone is saying the complete opposite.
Please, Juanita, can you put Persephone on the phone? Yes, she will care. Cats know the sound of your voice.
How hilarious. This guy is caring about his cat when the world is seemingly about to end. Ha ha ha. It's almost as funny as malaria in children.
I was able to connect with our contact at Vodafone. Luther's been selling arms to Gurkos for pennies on the dollar for years. He did it in exchange for half of Jarhanpur.
Whilst all this is happening, Lois is yapping about Lex doing suspicious trading deals and wanting half of Jarhanpur. So we just have to make everything as retarded as theoretically possible. There is a dimensional universal portal tearing a hole between the frictional vortexes of realities, and you're busy looking at Lex's trading deals to take him down. The guy who has made this fucking doomsday occur. Lois, more than anyone, with what Terrific told her, should think this is very likely literally the last day of a world.
For maps, contracts, all kinds of documents chronicling Baravia's agreement to cede half of the country to Lex Luthor once the invasion is complete.
Lex and Evil Man both signed a contract for Lex to have half of Jarhanpur, but I assume everything about Lex having half of Jarhanpur is illegal. So what does the contract do? If Evil Man doesn't give Lex half of Jarhanpur, is Lex gonna take it up with the United Nations? And the fucking girlfriend took photos lying down in front of illegal documents, and Lex should let her, I guess. If she's alone in a room doing secret stuff, then she doesn't need to fucking pose with the documents, but maybe she's that stupid. There was the door fiasco. Oh, I guess she did that in case Lex looks through her phone and thinks, she's obviously just taking selfies. Never mind find the perfectly laid out bits of illegal paper she's lying on top of. And the board just has photos of fucking random selfies for decoration, I guess. Wait, is this her doing some fucking Instagram pose in front of that lady trapped in the other universe? Fuck this bitch.
Why the hell would Lex want half a desert?
Kinda racist to call the country of Jampur half a desert. What about the people? Are they just half a desert too? Desert people? God damn it, now I'm the racist.
His cultish acolytes believe he's going to create a technologically advanced utopia.
So his acolytes know about his Baravia plans, and you know his acolytes know about his Baravia plans. Then how is it a secret? I suppose she could mean generally his acolytes think Lex wants to create this utopia, but with dialogue just thrown up onto the script, it's hard to say.
There's a profit factor as well. I mean, the petroleum deposits alone are worth multiples of his investment.
Yes, Lex needs more petroleum to go along with his universe. This entire movie has all been part of Lex's elaborate plan to solve the gas crisis.
Photos showed he was behind the whole Hammer of Bravia scam.
Even if we're forgetting about any dimensions, then the Hammer of Bravia should probably be the bigger talking point than selling weapons.
And all the bots stirring up anti-Superman sentiment online.
You mean all the monkeys?
Mr. Terrific believes Luthor's also behind the spreading rift between universes out there.
She just says this so casually.
Spreading rift between universes out there.
But don't worry about that. We need to work out if Lex's tax reports are all up to scratch. And what does she mean Terrific believes?
Mr. Terrific believes...
Is she dementia-ridden? She was in the movie with Terrific. She knows it was Lex who made the Pocket Universe shit. And she does also think the United States government is working hand in hand with Lex. But Lois kinda forgot.
All of it seems to be geared towards stopping Superman from standing in the way of the Baravian invasion.
All of it's to stop Superman from standing in the way of a Baravian invasion? How do you reach that conclusion? He thinks Lex Luthor might be colliding universes dimensionally to stop a guy stopping some invasion on the opposite side of a world. Although that's such a retarded thought, he might just actually be correct. So, nice work, Jimmy boy. Good job. And wait, you guys really want to drive around in a spaceship driven by Lois with, not much training, and she must be pretty sleep deprived, making a fun little board with pictures on, and driving a spaceship back and forth from Kansas? Well, that's some training, I guess. And she managed to park it on top of a building. Alright, maybe she is good enough at driving it. And anyways, what's the worst that could happen? Nah, they're fine, because simultaneously Lois is so shit at driving a spaceship that she did this. But then she can also pull off an impossible looking maneuver to save all their lives right after. That's just terrific. But wouldn't this dude be so undisputedly dead? The fucking whiplash that just happened. Why is he even here if there's no seatbelt for him?
How many does it hold?
5 or 6. 6.
Shit, maybe Lois is trying to get this dude killed. Oh, that's why she purposely fucked up the launch. To kill him as he's not strapped in.
Buckle up, kids.
Why don't I have a seat?
Jimmy, will you transcribe?
And she didn't even blink. I'm onto your games, Lois. I'm onto your games.
Clark, are you close? About to hit Metropolis. And my codes are not shutting it down.
We hear no reply from Clark, so it feels like Terrific is just talking to himself. Maybe Terrific has schizophrenia. And what is he hacking to shut down a multi-dimensional rift universe on his little computer? Like what? I guess possibly is linked to the computers in the tent, which haven't fallen into the universe. Alright, whatever. The concept of some codes shutting down an invading universe. The rift is on Metropolis, and somehow it's splitting buildings top to bottom, but the whole portal fuck thing is in the ground. So how is it splitting stuff high up? I mean, it should just be cutting through the world cosmically, but I guess it just recognizes solid objects because the tops of the buildings have dimensional rift rock on them. So, just move past it. And then each building hits the other and they all fall like dominoes. This doesn't seem right, but I don't know enough about falling buildings to dispute it. Also, everyone in these buildings had like a minute to evacuate. This is a bloodbath. Instead of trying to stop a rift when it's about to hit his building, Lex turns his room into a flying ship room, and Glasses guy says,
"Not sure where we're gonna land when the world is gone."
So the world definitely might be completely over. Somehow the dominosing buildings have got all the way to this bridge, and we're just meant to pretend like thousands of people haven't been smushed getting to there. And the fucking dust, man, not good. With all this suspending of our disbelief, we just have to thank God that Superman got given hypnoglasses. Anyway, the bridge. There's people running, and there's cars pretending to be in a traffic jam. Like, look at the space between them. We see this lady near the back of the bridge jammed to a stop with cars behind her. And then, yeah, the skyscraper. Look at the cars and people on foot at the back of the bridge with this smoke cloud on top of them. They're all fine. Then, oh dear, two cars decided to drive directly into each other. How unfortunate. Then the woman crashes into that crash and her car drives into her, and it's collision city. Everyone seems to be fucked. Then she looks around at the building almost upon her, and then we get a wide shot and there's only like 10 cars and they're all past her and hardly any are up ahead. Because what is continuity? She wasn't near the back of a jam at the start, so I guess all the cars behind her have been crumpled as well, and all the people running, nah, they're fine. She then stalls a car. Women, am I right? Ha ha ha. I don't know how to drive. Look at the smoke cloud. It's just about to reach her. Then she forgets how to start the car. Then the smoke cloud dissipates from existence. Wow. And this is just the most well-constructed building of all time. Well, everywhere but its base. Also, while all this is happening, we change things up. And instead of things being removed from existence, a river just spawns into existence. Because fuck it, right? Then Superman comes in to save a lady by holding up the building. Of course, exactly how that would go. Superman poses for the shot for a while, with all the corpses hidden in the dust below him. Don't you guys feel inspired? For then Terrific to appear.
There's a code to close the rift, but it's too complicated to hack.
So they did speak about fucking nothing off screen.
Luthor will have the code at Luthor Corp.
You'd think Terrific should have been able to work that one out.
Just give me a minute, I'll get Crypto and...
You want a minute to get a dog while a universe is rifting into your universe? Have you ever heard of a priority, Clark? And can't you just whistle and Crypto will appear? Isn't that you guys' whole thing?
Get Crypto and we'll go...
You brought that dog, man!
Yeah, I didn't want him killing my parents' cows.
Yeah, just have some idle chit chat about a dog, because time is not at the essence. Oh wait, it is. Oh, and they get ambushed midair. Somehow neither of them saw the two people flying directly towards them, despite spinning slowly around while looking in opposite directions. Hey, you already did this trick, James. And this knocks Terrific out unconscious. Real satisfying. And really, he should be dead as all shit from the impact. Clark should assume he's almost definitely dead as all shit, but he doesn't even try to check on him or anything. He doesn't seem upset at all. He just seems to know he got safely concussed from being slammed at that speed into the ground. I'm assuming Terrific is just a regular human, so yeah, no. But with him still being alive, shouldn't Engineer quickly finish him off, just stab him in the head? She has sacrificed her humanity after all.
I've sacrificed my own humanity to help get rid of it.
Clark chucks Ultraman to the ground and he just seems to lay there. That knocked him out unconscious. That is fucking absurd. Why does he suddenly suck? And I wonder why he doesn't have his Hammer of Bravia suit. That shit seemed helpful. And then Clark just stares at him for a couple seconds to get tackled by Engineer. Because Clark kinda forgot and she's strong enough to take down Superman. Those robots in the blood, man. So stupidly busted. Then he appeals to Engineer's humanity.
Not too late for either of you.
Unfortunately for him, Engineer sacrificed her humanity to take him down. So tough luck.
I've sacrificed my own humanity.
Do what Luthor...
Clark kinda forgot, so Superman seems to be distracted and so completely unaware that Ultraman has got up behind him. And so Lex, by a stroke of genius, or just a stroke, gives Ultraman the move 5A, a punch to the head. That's what he decided to do when he had the sneak attack. The best he could come up with. The smartest man in the world. Terrific. Superman gets kicked in the testicles to then grab his kicked in testicles. That's something we really needed to see. God help us all. Lex even employed a specific move. 2x he calls it.
2x!
Like the number of Superman's balls involved. The depth and the layers, man. Wow. Bravo, James Gunn. Anyway, the nut shot gets comboed with a blaster shot, and Superman seems pretty down for the count. Why the fuck did Engineer not try to blast him before? That seems broken as shit. Lex commands her to fill his lungs with her little robots.
Now, Angela, as planned, fill his lungs and kill the son of a bitch.
And for some reason, she walks towards him with them crawling on the ground, instead of just jumping on him, then doing the whole nanites in lungs. Clark seems to think he can travel to an intergalactic zoo, so I'm not convinced going after his lungs is the best course of action. Can't he travel in space? Oh look, he's on the moon. Superman sucks balls for most of the movie. I'm sure you can just kill him by punching him a lot of times, or any normal strategy. Seems to work at the start. And Clark is somewhat up now and just watches the nanites get up in his business. Like, what's his actual injury? Why isn't he just jumping away from the imminent danger? Is he stupid? And when they are going in his mouth and eyes and lungs, he doesn't jump up instantly into the air, and Engineer and Ultraman aren't on top of him, making sure he doesn't instantly jump up into the air, and instead are for some reason just strolling around him menacingly. Why not just hold him in one place? And are you really telling me his eyes can't get destroyed, or his brain, or any other internal organs, but going after his lungs is the best strategy? Okay.
Can't he hold his breath for over an hour?
Not without air in his lungs. He'll be dead in minutes.
Oh dear. Though I am thinking Lex, the genius that he is, should be wondering about where the Green Lantern and the Hawkgirl are, and the dog, and the Element Jizz, and any other superheroes in this world, and preparing for them to jump in any second. Oh, I thought someone was gonna... Never mind. I guess Lex was right to never have that thought cross his mind. But then what now? Isn't Superman just completely screwed? Yeah, so this is like probably the most abrupt ending of the videos, but it's the best. It's still the best place I could come up with to end it. It's in like the middle. It's in like the middle of the fight, but hopefully it's okay. I've been doing this talking at the end of the videos, and you know, it's mostly been light-hearted. But this time, I'm gonna speak about something serious. I just learned about this thing. Have you ever heard of this thing? It's called climate change. Let me tell you something about climate change. It is no good